overweight. It's like, oh, you're overweight, well, just diet and exercise kind of thing.
Okay, I'm gonna have to clock the receipt.
Oh dear, Callie, put those fingers down and have a seat. About those receipts, spoiler alert, there are 2 or 3 of them throughout our video, and they are questionable at best, and they don't tell us anything about inpatient programs for the morbidly obese in the province of Ontario, let alone the city of Ottawa where Chantal lives.
People say I should get inpatient help. There's no inpatient help here. Okay, I'm just telling you. I'm not trying to be defensive when I say that. Because I get that comment a lot. But in my town, I'm part of an outpatient program. And I've asked to be referred to the inpatient. And the form, my family doctor tried too. The form it's for people who are severely, like, near death. Anorexic, bulimic. They have nowhere on the form about being overweight. It's like, oh, you're overweight, well, just diet and exercise kind of thing.
I have to clock the receipt. I'm gonna have what's it? And I remember, if I can pull up those videos, and you guys know she deleted a lot of recent, I guess not recent, but I guess that was already a year ago. Time is really moving. When she went to the psyche merge, I remember, because I reacted to that video. I guess I'll just go back to my reaction and clock what she said.
After each one, I can't do that anymore. I just can't. So,
Inpatient? And I could link it in the card too, because I remember reacting to that video. She mentioned how she wanted to go to inpatient, and they do offer it by her. In fact, so many people. I wonder what the comments are saying.
Once and for all the clamoring, particularly from HAYDUR Nation, the concerned trolls, and the like, regarding Chantal and inpatient care. Okay, I'm going to put this to rest once and for all. Okay, as you have seen, and the other receipts, Callie's receipts are flimsy at best, as I've mentioned, and there's no sourcing them. Like, the audience who watch can have no way of finding those receipts that easily because there is no source for them. It just shows part of what OHIP covers, nothing about programs for the obese. Before I go on, it should be noted that when I was a political blogger, part of one of my specialties in political commentary was the decline of the Canadian healthcare system. Okay? So fortunately I took good notes because I've forgotten more than even what most Canadians know. And so, no, there is the only thing offered in the province of Ontario, and this is not just the Ottawa region, where Chantal lives, but it's the entire province of Ontario. Number one, you all talk of her getting some mental health help. Okay, that's problematic, particularly to get it covered under OHIP. It should be noted that each province has its own provincial healthcare system, its own provincial health insurance. Okay, in Ontario, where Chantal lives, it's called OHIP. Where I live, here in Quebec, it's called RAMQ. So, anyways, just to keep things straight, right? So, now, it should be noted that when Premier Doug Ford, or as I like to call him, Premier Druggy Fordzilla, oh man, don't he look oily. Anyway, but our Premier ain't much better. But anyway, we'll talk about him some other time. But back to Druggy Ford. Doug Ford. Okay, since he was elected to the Ontario legislature, known as Queen's Park, in June of 2018, he had been steadily cutting and cutting and cutting. Okay, healthcare in Ontario over the years had been cut to the bone, so he's going further than the bone. Now, as you can see here briefly from the Ontario Coalition of Public Healthcare, the link will be in the description box below should you want to read it for yourself. As you can see, the laundry list of cuts Doug Ford did is like draconian, to say the least. He's cut everything from programs for autistic children, special needs children, children who suffer from chronic illness, all the way to mental health. Do you honestly think, and there's barely, like as pointed out, Chantal said, 6 beds for those who are near dying of bulimia and anorexia nervosa. There are no inpatient programs, at least none covered by OHIP or any Canadian healthcare insurance, okay, for that thing. Okay, there are support groups, yes, that Chantal can look into, but at the end of the day, it's really up to Chantal. It's not up to you. Yes, only Chantal can seek the help. Mental health care, again, cut to the bone. I did a whole video about that a while back, the 4 cuts to mental health care and the hypocrisy of one of his ministers. I will link that video in the pinned comment below for your perusal. So as you can see, Chantal doesn't really have much help available to her, at least nothing covered by OHIP. The only thing covered in the province of Ontario is bariatric surgery. And what I mean by that, gastric sleeve, gastric bypass, and what's the other one? Oh yeah, lap band surgery, lap band procedure. That is all that is covered. Wait lists are very long, and sometimes if a patient can go outside, the province of Ontario will not cover it. And I will leave a link to the bariatric programs of the province of Ontario and in Canada. Both of those links will be in the description box below this video, again, for your perusal. So if Chantal needs weight loss surgery and she has to follow a certain criteria, she has to qualify first, and that's just to get on the waiting list. And as you can see, the waiting list can go up to 10 years, okay, in the province of Ontario, or anywhere in Canada, actually. So that's pretty much it. Now, is Chantal even ready to entertain the idea of weight loss surgery? Again, that's something entirely up to her, and that's between her and her healthcare provider, okay? I swear, usually when I see a lot of people, you know, the concern trolls all talking about what Chantal should do, this and that and the other thing. Remind you of anyone, everybody? Oh yeah, the rewired soul, Chris Boutte. Oh yeah, he came under all kinds of fire for doing that very thing. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? I'm just saying, there is no inpatient care program for Chantal, at least nothing covered under the public system. And many of the outpatient programs for the morbidly obese, once again, not covered under OHIP, and probably would have whatever was left was probably fell under the axe of cuts that Doug Ford did. Now, if she wants to entertain going to upstate New York, that's going to be a problem, especially now during the pandemic. The Canadian-American border is closed and is likely to remain closed for the foreseeable future to non-essential travel. So at this time, for her to go to an inpatient program in upstate New York, it's not likely to happen. And plus, it is prohibitively expensive. Okay, prohibitively expensive. And Chantal would have to pay cash because I doubt that she has travel insurance to go into the United States.
So I took it upon myself to see if I could find some inpatient treatment care that specified with people that suffer from obesity. And to be honest, I really couldn't find anything. So I kind of have to go with Chantal.